Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dharma Halper, and this is DH Reviews. This is my Season 1, Episode 13 review of Scorpion. If you missed any of my previous Scorpion reviews, there will be a link in the description down below, as well as an annotation behind me on the screen. If you're interested in my thoughts on any of the previous episodes, you can go ahead and check those out. Also, earlier this week, I reviewed Gotham, which you can check out in the description down below as well. With that being said, Season 1, Episode 13 of Scorpion was called Kill Screen, and in this episode, Ralph lands in a bit of trouble after he plays this game on the darknet and he accidentally decrypts a secret level that turns out to be a CIA safe house, the layout of a CIA safe house. And whoever is encrypting these secret levels into these games is using that to disseminate CIA information to people and to sell it to the highest bidder. And since Ralph was able to decrypt it so well, and since he's got a little bit of involvement in the darknet and in the message boards and stuff, the CIA seems to think that he is behind this, or he has some idea of who might be behind this. So he's in the spotlight in this episode. And apart from trying to find out who it is that's disseminating these secrets and encoding these secrets into these games, and trying to clear Ralph's name, the team tries to also in this episode wrestle with the idea of what's best for Ralph. We have on the one hand Walter, who taught Ralph all the darknet stuff and how to decrypt stuff, and Walter is basically saying that he wants a nice place for Ralph to explore his potential and to understand his potential and to reach his potential. And then on the other hand, we have Drew, who's saying that all of this Team Scorpion stuff is too dangerous and Ralph needs a normal childhood, and etc., etc. And then we have Paige, who's kind of stuck in the middle. And that's the side sort of plot for this episode. And so with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the characters in this episode, and let's begin with Walter. Walter in this episode teaches Ralph how to go on the darknet and how to talk on these message boards and how to decrypt stuff and all this sort of thing. And so that kind of directly leads to the conflict of the episode. So we have, again, that sense of responsibility that Walter is feeling and guilt that Walter is feeling. And to me, again, the big thing about Walter is in this episode that he wants Ralph to reach his potential. He wants Ralph to have the sort of enriching, nurturing childhood that he didn't have. Because in his childhood, he didn't have anybody who he could relate to necessarily. And he was working for Cabe and the FBI at a very early age. And for him, it's all about having fun and giving Ralph the most amount of fun with his genius. You know, he's building that rocket. He's building that Rube Goldberg machine in the other episode. He's showing Ralph that being a smart person, being a genius, can be cool and it can be fun. But that backfires in this episode. Too much of a good thing, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. And I think that's going to impact the way that Walter approaches things moving forward. He wants what's best for Ralph, but again, he's caught up in that idea of the childhood that he didn't have, and he wants Ralph to have too much fun. And speaking in terms of that, a character I did want to bring up was Toby, who acts very much as Walter's confidant in this episode, teaching him, talking to him about, you're being too nice, you're having too much fun. He's a kid, Ralph is a kid, but you have to teach him to be responsible as well. And so he's kind of that Jiminy Cricket character on on Walter's shoulder in this episode. And that's nice to see that, and I think we'll see more of that as Toby has kind of assumed that role, given his background in psychology and stuff. He's assumed that role of confidant for Walter, and sort of voice of reason for Walter, and really work well together on screen. And so just wrapping up my thoughts on Walter, again, I think he needs to chill out a little bit. I think he needs to understand, like Toby said, understand that there is a line between having fun and being responsible, and he needs to walk that line a little bit. And hopefully we'll see that in future episodes, because I think this had an impact on him, having his actions directly impact Ralph and put Ralph in danger and put Ralph at risk. I think that had an impact on him, and we'll see that moving forward. So with that being said, let's talk about Drew. And in this episode, Drew is the exact opposite of Walter. Drew is all about, getting Ralph out of Scorpion, getting him to a safe, as he calls it, a safe environment, etc., etc., getting the whole family back together in Portland, of course. And to me, where Walter's intentions were good, but his actions might not have been good, Drew's actions seem like they make sense and they might be good for Ralph, but his intentions are not quite as pure as they could be. So it's an interesting mirror there. And when I say that, what I mean is that, to me, the competition there between Drew and Walter is informing a lot of Drew's decision, and his competition not only for Ralph, but as well for Paige. And again, I don't think Drew has Ralph or Paige's best interests at heart. And I think, again, his move towards Portland, or wherever it was that he was going to move towards, is more geared towards getting his career back on track and becoming a baseball star. And I hate to say it, but kind of using his son as a springboard for that. And that, to me, is not the right thing to be doing. So let's talk about Paige now. And again, very briefly talking about Paige. She gets upset at Walter for Walter putting Ralph at risk in this episode. And but ultimately, I think, like I've been saying, she's going to make the best decision for Ralph. Whatever Ralph decides to do, Paige is going to decide to do. She's not 100% committed to leaving yet, but the idea has been planted in her head by Drew, and I don't think she's going to take that idea seriously unless Ralph takes it seriously. And it's going to be interesting to see where Ralph falls on that. So, wrapping up my characters discussion, let's talk about Ralph. And Ralph, in this episode, we get the episode that I was asking for several times in my reviews. If you go back and you watch, I asked for an episode where Ralph takes center stage. And in this episode, he takes center stage, and I like that they involved a game in the fact that this case was going on. It kept things on the level that Ralph could feasibly be involved. Because it was a video game and he's a kid. It was easy as an audience to kind of keep that connection together. And again, I think that he wants to hang out. I think right now Ralph is in the idea that Walter is his friend and Team Scorpion is his friend, and he wants to stay with them. He doesn't know his dad. He doesn't know his dad as well as he should, and I think that is going to inform his decision, because, like Walter, he thinks very logically, and right now, logically, he knows Walter more than he knows his father. He trusts Walter more than he trusts his father. He enjoys the company of Team Scorpion and being able to work on these rockets and stuff and get into the more intellectual part of his mind more than he does, baseball and this and that, etc. So logically for him right now, I think the best move is Team Scorpion. And I think he realizes that, and I think that's going to be his decision moving forward. So I did enjoy that he was able to help them in this episode. I did enjoy that we got the sense that this is in fact a dangerous environment if handled incorrectly for Ralph. And I think Ralph was integrated into the team really well in this episode. So that kind of does it for my characters review. Overall, solid episode. Again, it's setting up a lot of that Walter, Drew, Paige, Ralph confrontation, and I enjoyed that they were able to integrate Ralph into the episode. into the episode very well. And, you know, they kept things light and funny with the El Guapo stuff, and it's just very Scorpion at this point. Par for the course. You got your drama, you got your excitement, you got the whole Drew Paige thing, and then they're able to wrap it all up and keep it very light and funny and interesting. So really a solid episode, not exceptional per se, but definitely not bad. So I enjoyed the episode. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below, or hit me up on Twitter at the DH Reviews. If you have anything you want to ask, comment down below or hit me up on Twitter. If you like this review, leave a like, leave a thumbs up, and subscribe for more reviews like this. I do a lot of reviews for shows like Scorpion, Constantine, Gallivant is coming up next week, Gotham, etc. All those shows coming up. And with that being said, subscribe if you want to see those. What you can expect tomorrow is my Agent Carter live stream review at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully I'm feeling a little bit better. Again, I apologize, I've been feeling a little bit ill, but I felt like I needed to get these videos out. So I did, and hopefully I'm able to recuperate from this sickness, and you're not listening to me cough for like 20 minutes. So that's 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow is the live stream for Agent Carter. Here I go again, coughing. Okay, so that's what you can expect tomorrow. And then next week, 2 Gallivant reviews, because I didn't do a Gallivant review for this week. So 2 Gallivant reviews next week, and an Agent Carter review, because Gotham and Scorpion are off, it looks like, next week. So hopefully by the week after, I'm a little bit better, and I can get back in the swing of things here. With all that being said, share these videos, get these videos out there on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and we can grow the channel more than it's already grown. I really appreciate all your support and your patience again, and as we get things back into gear. Thanks very much for your support. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned.